Welcome back to the channel, boys. Fabloonski's coming at your neck with this Dead Man's Tale build. Now, this is the new exotic, new scout rifle. It's a 120, first of his archetype, and we're going to try and make it as good as we can in PvE. A lot of people are going crazy about it. It can get random rolls and stuff, so let's go ahead and jump right in. So we're going to use Top Tree Voidwalker, Attunement of Chaos. We're going to use Vortex Grenade, and the main reason I'm using this Top Tree Voidwalker is because of this perk right here, Chaos Accelerant. Overcharge your grenades, making it deadlier and more effective. I have some elemental well mods on, so we're going to try and utilize our grenade as much as possible to become charged with light and make our build, start to work. So our build is kind of using grenades a lot, so that's why I choose the overcharge grenade. You can also use Devour if you want to more self-sustain and keep yourself alive, but I personally like to be a little bit more offensive, so that's why we're going with the overcharge grenades. So obviously I got to use Dead Man's Tale as a Dead Man's Tale build. Here's the roll I got polygonal rifling, accurized rounds, vorpal weapon, and then fitted stock. And in case you guys don't know what the intrinsic trait is, chaining precision hits grant bonus damage and quickens reload speed. So if you get that ×5, it gets a bonus damage here from cranial spike. And then we got vorpal weapons. So this roll is really good at dealing with champions. I was doing 1330 Nightfalls, even though in the gameplay later on you're not going to see Nightfall gameplay just because I feel like there isn't enough enemies. After getting spoiled with Devil's Lair so much, I just feel like these year 1 Nightfalls they're not good in my opinion. But I was able to take care of a lot of these anti-barriers very easily with vorpal weapon. Just switching between this and a sniper or a rocket, you can take care of these champions no problem. You can actually solo them yourself. So this roll is very good. My special weapon, we're using Salvager's Salvo. We got Demolition as vorpal weapon on this roll. You can also use Chain Reaction, but I'm using this more for just like a boss killer. So Demolition is vorpal weapon is the roll I'm using. Of course, we got the boss spec here. And for my heavy, we're using auto loading Frenzy Cold Dweller with a boss spec as well. You guys already know this rocket launcher is insanely good. Frenzy is such a good perk, so I highly recommend this roll. Or I believe, yeah, auto loading cluster bombs isn't bad either. Or I think it's called Lasting Impressions is a new rocket launcher perk. Yeah, that's another good roll as well. But I got auto loading Frenzy, so it's just fine, especially for the battlegrounds activity where there is so much madness going on, so much chaos. It's a perfect roll for that activity. As for my stats, we got 32 mobility, 37 resilience, 82 recovery. I wanted this to be 100, but unfortunately the way my armor was rolled, I was not able to get it. We got exactly 100 discipline, meaning my grenade's on a 32-second cooldown. We got 22 intellect and 43 strength. So let's go ahead and start with that helmet. We got a minor discipline mod, we got rocket launcher ammo finder, we got grenade launcher ammo finder, and then we're using the first elemental ordnance elemental well mod. Now, in case you guys don't know what these mods do, picking up an elemental well grants energy to your ability with the lowest current energy. Picking up an elemental well whose element matches your subclass damage type grants energy to all your abilities. And in the little specific perk, I guess you want to say, defeating a combatant with a grenade spawns an elemental well that matches your subclass energy type. I'm using Void. I got the overcharge grenades, vortex grenades. My grenades are going to do a lot more damage than normal. So anytime I kill an enemy, or I think it's like you kill one, and if you kill 2 more, it spawns a second one. You just pick up these little wells, and then you get charged. Well, I have another mod that lets me become charged with light, but for right now, I just get some ability energy for all my abilities. On my gauntlets, I have a discipline mod. We got anti-barrier scout, just in case I run into an anti-barrier champion where I'm not able to pop the shield. I have it on there. Honestly, you can just run double scout rifle loaders if you want to, but just in case, you never know. Scout rifle loader, and then we got Font of Wisdom. Picking up an elemental well that matches your subclass energy type grants you a temporary significant increase in your intellect, improving the recharge rate of your super. And it lasts 30 seconds. It is not temporary. I mean, I guess that's technically temporary, but 30 seconds is a long time, especially in a game like Destiny where everything's happening so quick. So this is an excellent mod right here. If you have 100 intellect, I'm pretty sure this should stack and just seriously boost up your intellect, making you get your super insanely fast, and you can keep chaining it together. So if you are at the end of your little intellect boost and you pick up another elemental well, it'll refresh that and go right back up to 30 seconds. So it's an insanely good mod, and I have some build ideas for this one right here. Now let's move on to our chest piece, which is also my exotic piece of choice. We're using Chromatic Fire. Now the armor perk that comes on it is Crystalline Transistor. When a light subclass is equipped, precision final blows with your kinetic weapon create an explosion in the element of your subclass. I wish this worked with stasis, but unfortunately it doesn't. So we have to use the light subclasses, which is why we're using Voidwalker. Now this pretty much gives you Dragonfly on all your kinetic weapons, which is why I'm trying to make Dead Man's Tale very good in PvE. It's already really good in PvE, but now we're just adding an extra layer of ad clear. So whenever I get a precision kill, boom, I get pretty much Dragonfly. As for my mods, we're using a discipline mod. We got Concussive Dampener, melee damage resist, and then we got Energy Converter. While you're charged with light, using your grenade attack will give you super energy, consuming all your stack stacks of charge of light as long as you're under that 50% threshold. It pretty much gives you, if you have 5 stacks, like 45 to 50%. Right now I'm only gonna be able to have 4, so boom, have my 4 stacks, use my grenade, I get about 45, maybe 40-35% of my super energy back. Insanely good. Stacked it with Font of Wisdom, my super is gonna come back really fast. On my legs, we got a minor discipline mod, we got rocket launcher scavenger, we got innervation, reduce grenade cooldown each time you pick up an orb of power. And then we got supercharge. Now I can have 4 stacks of charge light instead of 2. So this works hand in hand with energy converter. And on my warlock bond, we got a minor recovery mod. Now we got Sundering glare. Rapid precision hits against distant combatants weaken them for a short duration. This mod is so unbelievably good in the Nightfall, especially like the 1330 and eventually the GMs. You're just going to be able to take care of these champions no problem. It's a debuff that also stacks with other debuffs. So this is 20%, and then Divinity, let's say if you want to rock Divinity, boom, that is another debuff. You can just absolutely melt these champions. It is so good. You guys got to get this mod, and especially with Dead Man's Tail, because you can just keep laying those headshots, boom, they're weakened. You can pull out your rocket, or your teammates can pull out their sniper, whatever it is an Algae's, and you can just decimate all these champions. It's great. And then we also got elemental charge. Become charged with light by picking up an elemental well. If the elemental well's element type matches your subclass element, you gain 2 stacks with charge of light. So pretty much I get 2 elemental wells to drop, I get 4 stacks immediately. On top of that, I'm getting my super regen, my intellect is increased, I'm getting ability energy back. This build is like ability spam, but honestly in a different way. I haven't seen any type of build like this, and I'm loving that these new mods are ability spam, but it's just kind of different. You know, it's in different ways you get to ability spam, and I love it. So pretty much get 2 stacks, boom, get energy converter, get my super back, get my intellect. It's crazy. And damn, that's looking kind of shiny. But here is my warlock fashion. We got the ornament for chromatic fire. Try to make it look as cool as possible. Got the little vexed bond right here. Looks pretty cool. I like it. We got the red here, red there. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. Shades will be in the description below. Dead Man's Tail is a fantastic scout rifle, and I think for the simple fact that you don't have to get a kill in order to proc your damage buff. It's just rapid precision hits. So unlike Rampage, multi-kill clip, kill clip, you don't have to get kills. Just simply land your headshots and you get a damage buff, which makes it insanely good for champion damage, boss damage, and even just ad clear, right? You can just line up a bunch of headshots, and especially something like a GM or a Master Nightfall where enemies don't die as quickly. As long as you're just landing those headshots, you're going to increase your damage, which makes your ad clear even that much better. Pair it with chromatic fire and this whole type of build, boom, you have a great boss damage weapon. You can also pair this with an all-loading rocket launcher like I did, have a secondary option, have a sniper or grenade launcher salvage or salvo for extra ad clear. Chromatic fire will proc those void or solar arc, whatever your elemental subclass is. Boom, there you go. And then with the elemental well mods, you get a grenade back, you get your super back because I have the intellect mod, I have energy converter, supercharge. This build is very good for literally everything. Ad clear, boss damage, super spam, ability spam. It has it all. And I think Dead Man's Tail is the final piece, because Dead Man's Tail is what allows you to do Sundering glare, the champion damage. You know, I was able to solo anti-barrier champions in 1330 content. So if I can do that, everything else should be fine. Now I just want to test this out in the GM, because that's the ultimate test, right? GMs is where it is. That's how you get your adept weapons. As soon as they come out, I'm going to be grinding for a depth shadow price, a depth palindrome. I don't really care about the swarm, but fuck it, I'll go for it anyway, right? I think the main drawback about this build and about this loadout is that Dead Man's Tail can't really perform that well when you're getting rushed by enemies. So for instance, if you're getting rushed by war dogs or maybe even thrall, whatever it is, any enemy that pushes you, it's kind of hard to deal with it because they're gonna be so close in your face, and the gun, it doesn't shoot as fast as like an SMG or auto rifle, obviously, but the reload can take a little bit. So if you're getting rushed, all you have to do is just run back, reload, shoot a couple shots, and then run back, reload again. That's the only time I felt like I was struggling a little bit. But if you're talking about GM or Nightfall where you're kind of far away all the time, you'll be fine, honestly. And then you can get kind of close, but it's just the fact that when they start pushing you a lot is when you're gonna start to struggle. And if you were just smart enough, right, you can just save your grenade for when that happens. Boom, there you go, there's your safety net. If you start to get rushed, just throw a grenade near your feet, run away, hopefully it does some damage, slows them down and whatnot, or even use your melee. You just gotta get to cover, but using your grenade for all those rushing enemies is probably your best bet. So go ahead and give this build a shot. You might like it, you might fall in love with it. Dead Man's Tail is a very good weapon. The mission is soloable. I soloed it on my last live stream, and go ahead and check that out. So it's not that difficult, but you can always just LFG a team, whatever, but you have to get this gun. There's a lot of different roles. I know you can also get 4th time and Outlaw, so I want to get those 2 perks and try it out and see what it can do. But let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Definitely try this out and let me know for yourself. But if you guys like this content, please like, subscribe, and share. It truly helps me out a lot. You can also check out my other videos. Links are in the description below. I have a lot of crazy builds, so go ahead and check that out. And you might as well follow my social media. I have a Twitter and an Instagram, both at @fat_balloonskis. But with all that being said, deuces.